What's it like in the first sprint of your Power Platform or Dynamics 365 projects? I've got to admit, I love Sprint 1. I love the possibilities, the enthusiasm, the optimism of that first sprint. And of course, it's a spirit that we try and maintain throughout all of our sprints through to the first major production release and beyond. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my Sprint 1, just so you can see how it compares to yours. I've been using the Scrum framework since 2008. That's 14 years ago. And I've had my fair share of Sprint 1s in those 14 years. I've worked on several complex enterprise projects that have run for 1, 2, or even 3 years. So you might have had way more Sprint 1s than me if you work on shorter projects, so that might make an interesting comparison to my video. The pre-sales engagement for this project started out much like any other. A prospective customer had heard about our reputation and asked us to complete an NDA prior to discussing their high-level needs for a team to deliver a CRM project for them. The customer is a mid-sized financial services organization with a couple of hundred users, and they're currently using a Dynamics 365 customer engagement app owned by somebody else, hosted on their behalf, and our customer needs to build their own CRM app because of the constraints with the way the current app is managed. Owning their own app will enable them to make lots of enhancements that their users have been asking for years. Here's the kicker. This customer had just finished a 12-week discovery exercise with another Microsoft partner, and then invited us to submit a proposal to compete with the proposal that they would received from that other Microsoft partner. Don't know about you, but when I took my CRM software sales training many years ago with Onyx, this situation is known as column fodder. Customers probably already made up their mind, but procurement needs a comparison. And another partner, us, invited in to submit a no hope in hell proposal. If you want to find out how a scrappy startup competed against a global Microsoft partner that had already been working with the customer for 3 months and fended off a third proposal from a national Microsoft partner at the last minute and became the appointed partner, you're welcome to join my Winning Agile Projects Masterclass, where I coach Microsoft partner teams through my winning playbook. We used a user story map to present the customer with a transparent and flexible plan for achieving their desired business outcomes. Our small but mighty team, we each got about 10 years experience delivering Microsoft projects, has delivered many similar applications before, and we reassured the customer that we would be able to deliver their outcomes within their expected timeline. We didn't provide any estimates around specific features in our proposal. After a fairly typical round of contract negotiation, which is always fun, we agreed an initial phase of 17 two-week sprints for 5 full-time Scrum team members. I'm chipping in 2 days a week as the delivery lead if and when the team needs me. We're contributing a business analyst, a functional consultant, 2 professional developers, and a senior test analyst. The customer is contributing the Scrum Master, which is an interesting arrangement I'll come back to in a moment, a full-time product owner, and a supporting cast including a CRM administrator, enterprise architect, organizational change manager, and subject matter experts from across the groups that will be using the new CRM application. We've agreed a high-level scope, although the product owner can adjust it, of course, based on feedback from his stakeholders, any changes in business priorities. And we've provided an estimated cost per sprint for budgetary purposes, but the actual fees will be based on the actual hours recorded during each sprint. We provide timesheets at the end of each sprint, along with our invoice to the GM of technology for approval. All nice and simple. I actually love simple arrangements. No one enjoys the drama of complex milestone-based payments that we spend days trying to agree and longer trying to validate. Drawn-out payment terms or customers that don't pay until the third and final overdue notice. No thanks. Simple arrangements enable my team to get on with delivering the app customer wants without wasting billable time trying to get paid. If you work in delivery for a Microsoft partner organization, you might not get involved in billing arrangements too often, but I know that delivery teams feel the pressure from their accounts payable department or from their account managers when payments are delayed. Is there any way you could avoid all that distraction just by keeping things simple? I'd far rather build outstanding applications than chase outstanding invoices. Outstanding is the old joke. What did the farmer and the scientist have in common? They were both outstanding in their field. Boom, boom. Listen, I know you don't tune into my videos for the dad jokes, but that one's for free and too hard to resist. Let me tell you about the Scrum Master and the Product Owner on this project. Our Scrum Master so far seems great. It's early days, but she seems to have done a good job building rapport with a new team. She's a consultant from an agile consultancy and training provider, and I think this might be her first Microsoft Business Apps project, and I'm hoping she'll bring some fresh insights and ideas to a Scrum team that's found a groove, honestly, after working together in the same way for 4 years. Our Product Owner is the current manager of the Dynamics 365 application, so he comes from a technical background, and I've been impressed by his focus on his users' requirements and his ability to balance the competing needs of different stakeholders. All the folks we've met from the customers team seem open and excited and up for it, and I'm really excited to be working with them over the next 16 sprints and beyond. Here's how Sprint 1 played out over the last 2 weeks. We spent the first day with the Product Owner getting up to speed on the project's goals, the existing application's features, and discussing the high-level scope for the project. By the second day, we had a product backlog in Azure DevOps and some items planned for the first sprint. It was a lot more fluid than our usual sprint planning event, and the items we selected from the sprint backlog weren't estimated, which is unusual for us. Instead, we just relied on our experience to know how much work we thought we could get done in the next 7 or 8 days. Our developers went to work setting up Dataverse environments and the Azure DevOps pipelines. Our business analyst and product owner led an estimation session using story point estimation to estimate the relative size of the features in the backlog. Our tester started work on the test plan, and I worked with the Scrum Master and the GM of Technology on a launch presentation for our business stakeholders that we held towards the end of the sprint. That project launch workshop replaced the usual sprint review event we'd normally have with our application stakeholders towards the end of the sprint. The launch event introduced the team, communicated our scope and our timeline, and our agile way of working. We did have a sprint review on day 10, but it was with the customer's project team rather than the wider group of stakeholders. We reviewed some of the initial items in the backlog, which were a mixture of simple contact and account configuration changes and some non-functional deliverables like a draft data model, ALM pipelines, and the test plan. The rest of the application stakeholders will join us in Sprint 2's sprint review, and I hope they'll get more and more involved in verifying and validating Power Platform features during future sprints as well. This customer's got an interesting application landscape that's taken a bit of adjustment, if I'm honest. They're not the typical Microsoft Power Platform customer that uses the Microsoft stack from front to back. We're using Azure DevOps for the backlog, our board, pipelines, but we're using Atlassian Bitbucket for source control, Confluence for our application wiki, Miro for visual collaboration. Got to remember to right click and drag, Slack for chat, Zoom for meetings, SharePoint for documents. It's quite a menagerie of new tools for most of our team. One new tool I tried out is copy.ai. It's an AI writing tool that uses the GPT-3 engine, same one that Microsoft uses in the Power Platform, to help you create more engaging writing. I thought it might be fun to try and using Copy AI to create more compelling sprint goals. I asked Copy AI to improve on demonstration of contact management building blocks. Give me some witty suggestions like how to make a contact management app in 15 minutes. Contact management made easy. Trying to receive a gift on Santa's movie list. I don't know where it gets these from. I've heard you can now use Microsoft GPT-powered AI with Power Automate to build flows using your voice. So, good luck with that is all I can say. Sprint 1 is messy. It's intense. It's one of our least productive sprints. Probably one of the least productive you'll ever have if all you measure is velocity. But if you measure relationships, understanding, empathy, and like I do, believe in the power and the majesty of a new project, then they're wonderful. And I'm lucky enough to get it to do it all over again with a new customer and another new project next week. If you've enjoyed this glimpse into some of my current project work, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make more videos like this one from inside my projects. Keep sprinting.